UPB here. I got a quick little video tonight. Going to go over my outlook for tomorrow, recap some of the trades and trade possibilities today. Also wanted to let you know we have some classes coming tomorrow. Jimmy Bob's going to have a class at optionmillionaires.com before the open. It'll be a great class. Hope you can join us. And later on in the day, after lunch, after I've had my lunch, uh, I'm going to be doing a live trading class at optionmillionaires.com. It's going to be great. Can't wait. For those of you who watched my class on Friday, hope you learned something. It was a beginner's option class. I know it was the start of a long weekend, and many of you couldn't make it. Um, I'll probably have another class along the line. If you have any questions ever, just send me an email, upbstock@gmail.com. I'll try and answer the best I can. Stock options offer some tremendous returns. Last week at optionmillionaires.com, we had some great alerts. We had the Apple $565 calls on Monday. They ended up going from 68 cents to $13.20. Yes, that was some alert. Apple made a great move. So if you put that into perspective of a dollar amount, that's potentially $680 into $13,200. Not bad for not having to do anything. You didn't even have to get off your rear end. People are digging ditches for a heck of a lot less than that. And all you got to do is click a mouse button or however you make your trades, call your broker, pray, flip a coin. Anyway, let's go into the trading action today. A little bit familiar action. We've seen this last week. We had the ramp higher. This is STFR. This is what's really scared the bulls off. Every rip is seemingly sold, and we sold down below 133 on the SPY. These are the S&P 500 futures that I'm showing you here. Then we ramped higher and hit a new high after the close, and now we've melted lower. We're over 0.5% lower. The point being here is the same point I've been making for several weeks now since we've seen weakness in the market. You have to be selling the rips. This be a rip, and you gotta uh, buy the dips. And this is a dip that obviously could have been bought. Look at it. I mean, it's so clear in hindsight, isn't it? That's why they say hindsight's 20/20. I mean, this is clear. I mean, you should have bought this, right? But if it went the opposite direction. In all seriousness, though, for the last week, we've seen this late session bullishness. Suddenly a buy button is hit and stocks ramp higher into the close. Uh, so we'll see if that pattern holds true. Right now, it does seem like stocks just do not want to weaken. One thing I do see as far as bearishness, and I drew this out, bear, bear with me. Let me zoom in here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. We did have our head and shoulders on the SPY. We fell. Uh, we hit our low last week. Monday, we ramped higher. It's been, a little roller coasterish. And then today, we hit the support resistance line I've had now for quite a while. You can see how many points it goes back to. And we magically hit it. That's why I keep all of my lines up. And we fell back today. And we hit it again at the close. And now I think we're putting in, or we could be putting in, a bear flag. Okay? It's almost like an inverse head and shoulders, except it's a flag. It's an inverse bear, inverse bull flag. It's a bear flag. Uh, and I was drew this because I want to show you this is what a bull flag would look like. You have the bullish move higher, and this is the consolidation. Stocks would consolidate just like this, and then boom, head higher. So we could be looking at a similar type of pattern here. Look, see, this would be a bear flag, which would mean we hit. This is even more uh, evidence of the possible move lower. This resistance line has now been hit. It didn't breach it, and we pulled back from it. And we pulled back pretty strongly earlier in the day before ramping higher into the close. So this is more just more information. The more information you have, especially in your charts, the better equipped you are to make a possible trade. And this, you've got really two things going for you here. On the bearish side, you have the bear flag, and then you have this resistance here. If we don't break this and we pull back, excuse me, that's my girlfriend. Okay, and then it's going to pull back, and we're going to see a break lower, uh, back below the lows we saw of 129.75 on the SPY. It was less than that, I think. Anyway, just something to keep in mind. All right, let's get into the stocks here. I saw SINA this weekend, pointed SINA out. I said SINA might be a good play this week, and sure enough, we're up over 6% today at one point. The 5750 calls we pointed out in the chat room as well today. They went from 30 cents to 90 cents, pulled back, and then worked higher into the close, not surpassing the highs of the day. So something to watch. We could be just ramping higher. This could just be some sort of oversold bounce, but I think it's going to be a little more than that. We could see a push over $60 this week. Call me crazy. I also brought up Caterpillar. Caterpillar was sub 90. I said, push to 95. We came within $1, and that was an hour into the open. An amazing push higher for Caterpillar before pulling back. The 92.50, the $95, and the 97.50 strikes all were 100, 200% gains if you bought at the open and sold the rip. I also think this is a good trade this week. The $95 calls. I'm going to wait and see what happens tomorrow. Right now, futures is down 0.5%. The dollar's stronger, so that's going to affect commodity-based stocks like Caterpillar and John Deere, Mon Mospot, U.S. Steel. Let's go to U.S. Steel. I do think we could see a nice move here. The $23 calls for U.S. Steel, and I've played U.S. Steel to a T 3 out of the last 4 times. I'm betting 750. Yes, better than David Wright. 3 for 4 on U.S. Steel for me, buying the calls on the dips. And there's a good chance I'm going to do it again this week. Goldman Sachs. I think Goldman Sachs has put in a meaningful low recently. Today, I was buying on the dip, $37, 37, I hope not, and it would rip me off, 37 cents for the $100 calls. That was the low. And they ended up hitting a high of 63 here, and then ultimately closing at 55 cents. See how the price is higher, but the option price isn't higher. Why? Well, we had the dip, we had the rip higher. That increased the volatility of the stock. People were getting on the bandwagon thinking it was going to go straight up to $100, and that's what gets option premiums cooking. Meaning, on a rip like this, you should be selling. Getting out, I didn't, because I think a move over 100 is coming, and I didn't want to go in and out, in and out. And considering I only play with a little bit, the commissions affect my profit. So why get in and out if I think a move is coming this week? And I think Goldman Sachs is going to go over $100 this week, which is why I have the $100 calls. Now, if it does it late in the day on Friday, I'll probably end up at best case even. I need that move to happen by Thursday. And if it moves to 102, we're sitting on a 7-8 bagger. Not bad. Let's look back a little bit longer term on Goldman Sachs. I like to call them Goldman Sachs, but they're not. They're Goldman Sachs. They're going to be great this week. And when I want them to go down, they'll be Goldman Sachs again. I do think Goldman Sachs put in a low. We got a lower low. And I think we're going to make our way back over $100. It looks like nothing here, right on this chart, from the decline we've had in the last month and a half, from $128 a share down to now we're at $97.86. Really looks like, I mean, gosh, that's nothing. Come on, guys, just throw a couple billion at it. Get it over there for me, right? That'll be a nice 8 to 10 bagger. If we can get to the gaps here, we have the gap at 101. We have another gap here, 106. Who knows? And I have this resistance line here, resistance at 108. So yeah, Goldman Sachs. I'm sure there's other stocks I want to go over with. IBM is sitting at multi-year support, going all the way back to 2008, 2009. I think she's going to go over $200. I played it last week, I believe, for a similar type move. It didn't happen, but we were strong today before pulling back. So that's a low volatility stock. I think a great possible trade over $200. So I think that's going to do it for now. We have some great classes coming tomorrow. We had a great class tonight. Mikey delivered it. Fabulous class. Love the guy. I don't go that way, but if I did, forget it. All right. Anyway, it's UPB here from Option Millionaires. OptionMillionaires.com. I'll be live. Live. Oh, yes. Anything can happen when you're live after lunch, 1 p.m. Might stay on for about a half hour, 45 minutes, maybe an hour if you're lucky. And Jimmy Bob's going to be on before the open tomorrow. It's going to be a busy day at Option Millionaires and hopefully a very profitable one. Thanks for listening. Take care. Have a good night. And I'm going to go get some rest. Take care.